Okay, kiddos, how are you doing with your division? It's not the easiest thing, I know, but we are just learning those patterns. We're going to stick with it for a few more days. In fourth grade, Mr. Hines is going to reteach it to you and you'll work with it a little bit more. So this is just your intro. If it's tough for you, it's okay. I'm really proud of you for working on it. Just remember, this is something that you'll revisit. So you do want to try to grab a hold on it in your mind, but know that you're going to get your skills strengthened when you get to fourth grade. So this is just an introductory, and so don't get frustrated if you're like, I keep forgetting the steps. Just stick with it, and you'll strengthen your skills in fourth grade. So hang with me for a few more days, okay? So today we're not going to add any extra steps. We're just going to practice with what we've already learned, okay? So I want you to get page 307, and let's start with the first three. Now the first three are just our basic math facts that we know, okay? So you might be looking at this going, but I can't divide 2 tens by 4. Well, look at the whole number. This is a basic math fact. For our 20 divided by 4. You know what that is, right? It's 5. So now the reason, so remember, if you have, let me get my blocks. Let me show you. So look at the number. If you know the basic fact, you can just put the answer down. That's fine. But think about this. If we have 2 tens, we can't really split those into 4 equal groups. We would have to change them into 21s, right? Okay, so now we can do 21s divided by 4. Okay, so 20 divided by 4, you're thinking of your fact family. 4 times what equals 20, and that answer is 5. Okay, so now we're going to go through the steps of long division. Boys and girls, sometimes I like to put a little X up here because I was working with some students yesterday and they were forgetting this multiplication step. Okay, so once we divide, okay, so 20 divided by 4 was 5 ones. Now I take my 5 ones and I'm going to multiply by 4. I'm going to write my answer. 4 times 5 is 20. The next step is to subtract 20 minus 20 is 0, and I'm done. Okay? So think of your basic math fact here. 35 divided by 5. What times 5 equals 35? Did you say 7? Okay. So now think of 5 times 7, and the answer goes right here. Okay. Put your 3 under the tens column and your 5 under the ones column and subtract, and what do you get? 0. You are done. Think of your basic math fact. 27 divided by 3 equals 27 divided by 3 equals, think 3 times what equals 27? Answer is 9. And that's in our ones column because we can't divide 2 tens, so we have to think of 27 ones. All right, so that would be 9 in my ones column. And now I'm going to put my little X here, so I remember to multiply 3 times 9. And that answer goes right here to 27. What's the next step? So we divided, Mom multiplied, now sister subtracts, and we bring our answer down. That's what brother's job is. And Rover can't repeat because the 0 is like a stop sign. We are done. We don't have any other numbers to divide. We've divided them all. Okay, so I want to, these were, the little bit easier ones because they're math facts that we already know, but we're just putting the steps in. Now, guys, I want you to think of your number like this. Just like when we were adding and subtracting, we always kept our tens in line and our ones in line. When we got to hundreds and thousands, we kept those in a column. Same thing with division, okay? So this right here is our tens column. And this is our ones column, right? So the answer, our quotient up here, we're going to have the tens in the tens column and the ones in the ones column, okay? All right, so let's take a look here. We've got 6 tens, and we want to divide them into 3 equal groups. That's what that means. 6 tens divided into 3 equal sets. Okay, so let me show you with the blocks. Okay, so 63 means 6 tens and 3 ones, right? So let's do our tens first. We've got 6 tens, and we want to put them into 3 equal groups. All right, so how many would go in each group? Okay, so we could, let me move things around so I can set these on the table and then you can see. Okay, so here are our 6 tens. All right, we want to put them into 3 equal groups. So here's group 1, here's group 2, here's group 3, okay? And I want to keep dividing them up into 3 groups until they're all divided evenly. Okay, so how many tens are in each group? 2 tens, right? Okay, so I'm going to come up here to my tens column, and I'm saying 6 tens divided into 3 groups would equal how many tens in each group? Right, 2 tens in each group. Okay, so I put the 2 in my tens column. Okay, so we just divided our tens. Now we need to multiply, so I'm going to put my little multiply sign up there. Okay, and now I'm going to take my divisor and multiply by my tens. Okay, so 3 times 2 equals 6 tens. And what's the number for 6 tens? It's 60, right? So I'm going to put a 0 right here. Okay, so that means I've divided my 6 tens. I told you how much the 6 tens are, 60. What's the next step after we multiply? Right, we're going to subtract. We're just taking our tens away because we already divided them. Okay, we're taking them. We are done with our 6 tens. We're done with 60. We can take it out of there, and we are just down to our ones. So remember, in that number 63, we had 3 ones. Okay, so we subtract. We're going to subtract the 60 because we got rid of our 6 tens. We've already divided them. We knew that there were 2 in each group. So now we're going to subtract, and brother brings the answer down. Okay, so 63 minus our 6 tens is just going to leave us with our 3. All right, so that is our 3 ones. And we have 3 ones, and we want to divide those into 3 equal groups. So how many would be in each group? Right, there would be 1 in each group. So we're going to put a 1 right up here in our quotient in the ones column. Okay, so we did 3 divided by 3 equals 1. Now we have to do the next step. So after division, what happens? Multiply. So we do 3 times our ones. 3 times 1 equals 3. So we write that in our ones place. Okay, and then what's the next step? We subtract. And 3 minus 3 is 0. There are no other numbers to divide. There's no other problem that we have to divide. This is our stop sign. Okay, so if you have 63 and you divided that into 3 equal groups, you can see we have 21. And that's our answer. 63 divided by 3. 63 put into 3 equal groups equals 21 in each group. Okay, let's try 68. Get a few more ones here. All right, so 3, 4, 5. How many do I need? 68. There we go. All right, so I've got 6 tens and 8 ones because that's what 68 is, right? Okay, so let's figure this out first. If I'm going to take 68 and divide it into 2 equal groups, right? So here's what group 1. Here's group 2, and I'm going to just keep dividing my tens until I don't have any more tens, splitting them up evenly, like 1 for you and 1 for me, right? 2 equal groups. Now I'm going to take my 8 ones and divide those evenly, 1 for you, 1 for me, 1 for you, 1 for me, right? And we would just divide those equally into 2 equal groups. And so you would have 3 tens and 4 ones, and I would have 3 tens and 4 ones. So there would be 34 in each group, right? 34 in each group. Okay, so let's take a look here. So we're going to divide our tens first. So remember, this is my tens column and this is my ones column, all right? So I'm going to take my 6 tens and I put those into 2 separate groups. And how many tens were in each group? There were 3. Okay, so I just divided. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Put the answer there. After I divide, my next step is to Dad divides, Mom multiplies. So this is what I'm multiplying, my divisor times my tens. 2 times 3 equals 6. And those were my tens, so, right, so 6 tens is the same as what number? 60. Okay, so I just divided my 6 tens into 2 equal groups. I found that there were 3 in each. Okay, so now I multiplied, and my next step is to subtract. Okay, and brother brings down the answer right here, and our answer, 68 minus 60, equals 8. Okay, so now, do you see how these were my 8 ones and I brought them down? Now it's the ones' turn to get divided. Just like when I had my 8 ones and then I started dividing those into 2 equal groups, right? That's what you're doing here. Okay, so I have my 8 ones, divide by 2 equals 4. Right, so I put my 4 up here in my ones column of my quotient, and now I'm going to multiply my ones. So 2 times 4, and I'll put my answer in my ones column. 2 times 4 equals 8. We multiplied, so sister comes and she subtracts, and brother brings down the answer, and it's a 0. We have no other numbers to divide equally into 2 groups, and so we are done. Okay, and our quotient was 34, just like when we divided with the blocks, it was 34. Okay, so let's move down to our hundreds. I don't want to make this video too long. It's already getting lengthy. Okay, so let's try this one. Okay, so now we have a hundreds place, right? We have our hundreds column, and here's where our answer, the quotient for our hundreds will go, the quotient for our tens, the quotient for our ones. Okay, so we have 264. So I've got my 200s, I've got my 60. Okay, I've got my 200s, I've got my 60, and I've got my 4. And I want to put those into 2 equal groups. All right, so if you were going to divide your hundreds up to 2 equal groups, you'd put 1 in one group, 1 in the other, right? Then if you were going to take your 6 tens, how would you divide those evenly? You'd put 3 in each, okay? And then you'd have your 4 ones, and to put those into 2 equal groups, you would split those. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So each group would have 132. 132. Okay, so let's take a look on how we solve that. Okay, so we're going to start with our hundreds, and we're saying, 2 hundreds divided by 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. There would be 100 in each group. So my 1 goes in the hundreds column. Okay, so Dad just divided. 2 hundreds divided by 2 equals 100. Okay, and then I'm going to put my little multiplier right there so I remember. Okay, so now Mom multiplies. She takes the divisor times our hundreds. 2 times 1 equals 2. And what number is 2 hundreds? Right, we would write 200. Okay, so we divided, we multiplied, we put our answer here, and sister comes and subtracts because we're done with our hundreds now. We've already divided our hundreds. We're good, okay? So we take those out of there because we know there will be 100 in each set. Okay, so now brother brings down our answer, 264 minus 200 would be 64. Now it's time for our tens to get divided. Okay, so remember we had 6 tens, and we're putting them into 2 separate groups. So 6 divided by 2, 6 tens divided by 2 equals 3 tens. Okay, so think of your basic math fact. 6 divided by 2, and you know it's 3. Now, Mom comes and multiplies. 2 times 3 equals 6, right? And since we're talking about tens, what is the answer for 6 tens? Right, it's 60. Okay, so go ahead, sister, subtract 64 minus 60 because now we've divided our 6 tens and we know that there's going to be 3 in each group, so we can get rid of our tens now. And now sister subtracts, brother brings down the answer. Now, the only thing left to divide are our ones. So see how it's 4 ones? We brought it down. Now we need to divide that, and we're still waiting for the answer for the ones. Okay, so 4 divided by 2. So think of your 4 ones put into 2 equal sets, right? 4 divided by 2 equals 2. Dad divided. Mom multiplies. Divisor times our ones. So 2 times 2 equals, put your answer right here. 2 times 2 equals 4. Are we done? Nope, sister has to do her job, and brother has to do his job. Okay, I'm going to go through one more with you. I'm going to go through this one with you. Okay, so if it helps you to make those columns and write hundreds, tens, ones, whatever it's going to do to help you. If you want to put your little multiplier X right there so you remember the mom step of multiplying, whatever can help you. Okay, so here we have 963. And how many groups are we dividing it into? Or 3 equal groups. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. Let me get my hundreds. Okay, so I've got 9 hundreds. And I've got 6 tens because it's 960. 963. Did I lose you guys? Okay, good. Okay, so 963, and I'm going to put these into 3 equal groups. So if I have 900s, and I want to put them evenly into 3 groups, okay, so here's 3 groups, right? Okay, I still have more hundreds to divide into 3 groups, so I'll put that one there, that one there, that one there. Oop, I'm not done yet. I keep dividing into 3 equal sets. Okay, so now I divided my 900 into 3 sets. Okay, so how many hundreds are in each? Right, 300. Okay, and then I had 963, so I've got to put my 60 into the groups, so that's 6 tens, right? So I'm going to divide those up evenly into 3 groups, and look, we've got 2 tens in each group. All right, and then I had 3 ones, and I want to put those into 3 separate groups. So 1, 1, and 1. So each group is going to have 321. You see that? So that's what we're doing when we do long division. We're just dividing our hundreds, then we're dividing our tens, then we're dividing our ones. Okay, so let's take a look. Start with your hundreds. We have 9 hundreds into groups of, or 3 groups. So 9 divided by 3 equals, think of the basic math fact, 9 divided by 3 equals 3. And we're going to put it right up here in our hundreds spot because we were talking about dividing 9 hundreds. So we put our 3 for our answer. That means 9 hundreds divided by 3 equals 3. Now, Mom multiplies 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, but since we're talking about hundreds, what is the number for 9 hundreds? You would write it like that, 900, right? Okay, so Dad divided. We found that there were 300s. Mom multiplied to get that number, 900. We can take that out of our number. We already know that our answer is going to be 300. So we can just take that 900 out because we're done with it. Okay, and then sister subtracts it. And so now we have our 10s and our 1s to divide. See how it's the same 10 and the same 1 in our original problem. Okay, so now we're going to divide our 10s. So remember when I had my 6 10s, right? And I put those into 3 groups. Okay, so 6 divided by 3 equals 2. And that's going to go right up here in the 10s column of your quotient. Okay, so we did our 10s. 6 10s divided by 3 equals 2 10s. Okay, now mom comes and multiplies. So mom multiplies our 10s times our divisor. 3 times 2 equals 6. And since we're talking about 10s, 6 10s is the same as, write the number here. 6 10s is 60. And then sister comes and subtracts. We're taking the 10s away because we already found out how many 10s will be there. So let's get rid of our 10s now. Subtract those out. Brother brings down the answer. Okay, and it's 3. Okay, and Rover's going to just repeat. Now we've got to divide our 1s. So if we have 3 1s and we divide into sets of 3, 3 divided by 3, each set will get 1 1, right? Okay. So we divided 3 divided by 3, put our answer there. Now mom comes to multiply. 1 times 3 equals 3. Put that down. Sister subtracts. Brother brings down the answer. And look at there. We have no other numbers to divide. So this is like a stop sign to us. It's telling us, hey, everything got taken out. We divided our hundreds, we took those out. We divided our 10s, we took those out. We divided our 1s and we took that out. So there's nothing left to do. And look at here, our answer is 321, just like we did at the beginning. Each group had 3 hundreds, 2 10s, and a 1, 321. Okay guys, so I know this has gone long, so I'm not going to require you to do these 2 unless you feel like you need some extra practice. Maybe you want your mom to check, or maybe you want to do it and have me check it at the Hangout. I'd be happy to do that. Okay, and you are going to complete the back side. Just go through those steps very carefully. Now, number 1 through 3, they're basic math facts. Okay, you should have those memorized. Okay, but here you're going to divide each group. Okay, here you'll have hundreds. And so make sure you read the question so that you know how to answer the question carefully. And then a little review on fractions. Now, boys and girls, I had some students that I worked through the paper with them yesterday because they were having some difficulty remembering how to do the steps. So if you would like to do that, I'm so happy to help you do that. So go ahead and let me know if you want to have an individual hangout, okay? All right, I want you guys to have a great day. See you later.